Hi everyone. In this video, we are going to learn bubble sort algorithm. We'll walk through an example, discuss its efficiency, and even see how it can be optimized. Let's jump right in. Bubble sort is a very simple sorting algorithm that works by repeatedly stepping through the list, comparing the adjacent elements, and swapping them if they are in the wrong order. Let's start with an illustration. Given an unsorted array of length 6. On the right hand side, what you can see in green is a sorted version of it. We are going to sort this particular array in an ascending order. Let's start by comparing the first two adjacent elements, 8 and 5. Since 8 is greater than 5, swap them. The next two adjacent elements, 8 and 7. Since 8 is greater than 7, swap them. Then compare 8 and 3. Since 8 is greater than 3, swap them. Then compare 8 and 2. Since 8 is greater than 2, swap them. Then compare 8 and 7. Since 8 is greater than 7, swap them. At the end of pass 1, you'll observe that 8, which is the largest element, has moved to its correct position. So, in first pass, there were altogether 5 comparisons and at the max 5 swaps. The same process is now to be repeated for the remaining unsorted elements. Now let's start with pass 2 by comparing the first two adjacent elements. Here 5 is not greater than 7, so no swap is required. Then compare the next two adjacent elements 7 and 3. Since 7 is greater than 3, swap them. The next two adjacent elements 7 and 2. Since 7 is greater than 2, swap them. Then comes 7 and 7. Since 7 is not greater than 7, 7 is equal to 7, so here no swap is required. So at the end of pass 2, 7, which is the second largest element, has moved to its correct position. In pass 2, there are total 4 comparisons and at the max 4 swaps possible. Then comes the pass 3. We compare the first two adjacent elements 5 and 3. Since 5 is greater than 3, swap them. Then comes 5 and 2. 5 is greater than 2, so swap them. Then comes 5 and 7. 5 is not greater than 7, so this ends the pass 3. Here no swap is required. So at the end of pass 3, 7, the second 7 which was there has reached to its correct position. So in pass 3, there were 3 comparisons and at the max 3 swaps possible. In pass 4, we compare the first two adjacent elements 3 and 2. Since 3 is greater than 2, swap them. Then you have 3 and 5. 3 is not greater than 5, so here we need to stop. So at the end of pass 4, 5, element 5 has reached to its correct positions. In pass 4, there were 2 comparisons and at the max 2 swaps possible, but we had to do it only once. Then comes pass 5, we compare 2 and 3. 2 is not greater than 3, so no swap required and our list is now sorted. In pass 5, there were altogether 1 comparisons and at the max 1 swap possible. Now let's break down the time and space complexity of bubble sort and represents the total number of elements. Number of passes will be 1 less than the number of elements, which is n minus 1, thus 5. A pass is a single complete iteration through the list where adjacent elements are compared and swapped. Number of comparisons. If you backtrack it, in the last pass you'll see only one comparison was performed. In the second last pass, 2 comparisons were performed. In third last pass, 3 comparisons were performed. This gives us an equation 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus n minus 1, which can be generalized as n minus 1 by 2, which can be further simplified as big of n square. Coming to max number of swaps. If every comparison leads to a swap, then Max number of swaps will be equal to number of comparisons, thus becoming equal to big O of n square. Let's come to time complexity now. The best case will be big O of n. This is when the list is already sorted. The worst case is big O of n square, meaning the list is sorted in a reverse order. Thus, every adjacent elements needs to be compared and swept, thus giving us our worst case of big O of n square. Space complexity is big O of 1, meaning constant. Here the sorting is done in place and no extra memory is required. Stability. Bubble sort is a stable sort, meaning if there are two elements with same value, then the relative ordering between the two will be maintained after sorting. If you Let's write the code to implement bubble sort. First, find the length of the given array. The value of n will help us to determine the number of passes. So the first loop, the outer loop will run from 0 to n minus 1, and the value of I for the iterations will be 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4 respectively. In pass 1 there will be 6 unsorted elements, in pass 2 5 unsorted elements, in pass 3 4 and so on. In pass 1 altogether 5 comparisons are to be performed, and this 5 can be obtained by subtracting 1 which is constant and value of I from n. In second pass, 4 comparisons are to be performed and it can be obtained by subtracting 1, a constant, and value of I from n, and so on. This gives us the inner for loop which is meant for comparisons. Here we are going to compare the adjacent elements. If the first element is greater than the second element, swap them. This gives us the basic implementation of bubble sort. Let's optimize our code. Bubble sort has a best time complexity of big O of n. This occurs when the list is already sorted. However, with the current code, even a sorted list will go through n minus 1 passes and perform all those unnecessary comparisons. First pass alone is enough to determine if a list is sorted or not. Let's see this how. Given a sorted array of length n, we started off with pass 1. We compared the first two adjacent elements, 2, 3. Is 2 greater than 3? No. Then we move to the next pair. Is 3 greater than 5? No. Then 5, 7. Is 5 greater than 7? No. Then comes 7, 7. No swap required. Then comes 7, 8. Is 7 greater than 8? No swap required. So at the end of pass 1, we say that we performed 5 comparisons and 0 swaps, which means that all the elements are at their correct position and the list is sorted. To detect if a list is sorted, what we can do is we can introduce a flag at the beginning of each pass and set its value to true. If any comparison resulted in a swap, we can mark that particular flag to false. If this flag remains true after all the comparisons in any of the passes, we can conclude that the list is already sorted and no further action is required. Here we can break out of the outer loop and say that the list is sorted. Here are the steps for your reference. Feel free to revisit the visualization section, and thanks for watching.